Hello, welcome to another episode of Cal's Questions in association with Ampersand Productions. I'm the titular Cal. I will be asking the titular questions. And as always, I'm joined by Paul of Ampersand Productions, the owner, creator of Ampersand Productions. Yes, hello, Paul. How are you doing, first of all?
Hello, I'm doing very well. It is a Wednesday evening when we are recording this. I've just had gammon, egg, and chips made by my wonderful wife, and it was very nice. So I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
I am
And
jealous.
ooh, and that jealous voice you can hear there, that is Antonia Shaw, our guest for today. Yes, hello, Toni. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. That was so weird. You calling me by my full name. That was
Yes.
a trip.
This is a different vibe to Homebrew Havoc. You see, we do things slightly more formal here, but not really. So
Fair enough.
yeah, but thanks for dropping in. But yeah, I'll give you if it's all right with you, just going to tell the people listening and or watching this about you. We know you quite well as we play with you on Homebrew Havoc, and you are Cadis, and we love playing with you. You're a fantastic role player and business owner and Surefire Designs and creator of all sorts of things. Yeah, you're a top person, and thank you for getting involved in everything that we're doing. And yeah, in your own words, tell us about yourself then.
I'm cool.
That's it.
no,
Good.
I-
Right. Well, that's the end of Cal's questions. Thank you for joining us. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, no, my name's Toni, as Cal has said. And I am also known as Surefire Designs, where you can find me pretty much everywhere. And I create like D&D merch, I guess. Mugs, t-shirts, stickers, badges. Not just D&D, I've got other sort of pop culture stuff on there as well. I'm also part of Roll the Damn Dice as well as Homebrew Havoc. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I play Cadis.
You do indeed, and we're a big fan of Cadis. And also, I'd just like to say, if you're watching this, I've got one of Tony's t-shirts on, and I love it. I wear it so much. I absolutely love it. It's such a cool design.
Oh my god, I love that t-shirt. I've got the one with the flames.
Yeah, big fan, and all your designs are really great as well. And on that, then, I mean, it's how do you come up with those designs that you have for them? Because I've seen the TTRPG one. I think I've seen quite a lot of positive responses to it on social media and things like that. So, how do you come up with these sort of designs?
It's a mixture of different things. I'll be honest with you. A lot of my designs come from me waking up randomly at 2:00 in the morning and being like, "Oh my god, I hope I remember that when I wake up later." Yeah, so that's one way. That's the main way. But then sometimes, I'm sorry, I just realised my laptop's not plugged in. That's why I'm making some noises just there. Don't want to go off the interview because that would have been really bad. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's one way. But sometimes I just kind of just sit there and go, I feel like I should make something. I should design something, and then I just try and like force my brain to come up with something. Yeah.
What's it like being? Yeah, go on.
I'm currently working on something at the moment. I have just put a little sneak peek of that on my Instagram, Surefire Designs, earlier today. But as I've got the stickers right next to me here, I'm going to give you guys like a proper little sneak preview of some stuff.
Yeah, do it.
So
look at that.
Owlbear apparel. So yeah, I've got some stickers, as you can see. And then I've got some other little bits of that coming out soon, hopefully, fingers crossed.
For people only listening to this rather than watching, that was a very awesome owlbear sticker, and I will be getting that for sure because I am an owlbear fan. What's your Etsy store, Toni? Because if anyone wants to take a look at that now, open up a new tab on your browser and go and take a look whilst listening to this fantastic podcast.
It is Surefire Designs. Sure spelt SHAW because that is my last name and I love puns. So yes, that's how you'll find me on it.
That's a pun. Surefire.
Yeah. Yes, it is a pun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I never realised. I just thought it was like Fire Designs, and then your last name, sorry. So I was like, yeah, sure, Fire Designs, that makes sense. But it's not. That's amazing. I never realised.
I mean, it works both ways because my designs are fire, but
Oh yeah.
She's hot stuff. Her stuff is great. So that's where my mind went, but it makes more sense now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I encourage everyone to go and check that out. And on the because I mean, from what I've seen of you, it's there's a lot of TTRPG influenced ideas that go into your designs and your merchandise. What was it that got you into TTRPGs in the first place?
ooh, that is a good question. So, I've always liked the idea of doing it. I didn't really kind of know what the game was at all. I knew that it was like very fantasy based and very kind of improvisational.
Just D&D now.
Like D&D, yeah, specifically. Yeah, unfortunately, haven't actually played any other systems. I want to at some point, but yeah, D&D is kind of the one I know. So yeah, I didn't really know much about it. I just knew that it was kind of very fantasy based, and I love that sort of stuff. And I know there was me and some of my friends at school when we were going into sixth form were like, we should do some D&D when we were in sixth form. We get like free periods. We should play D&D. This would be great. And then it never happened because that's always the case. And then I was on holiday with that same group of friends a few years later, just before we started uni. And my friend was like, well, I've brought a couple of really short one-shots and some pre-made characters. Do you guys want to play? And everyone was like, yes, that sounds brilliant. So my first ever character that I played was a dragonborn warlock. But because we didn't have enough characters per people, so both me and my friend played the same dragonborn warlock. But that was fun. We just role played it. We just pretended we were twins, so we were just we rolled with it. Yeah, and then I kind of didn't really get back into it again for another couple of years. And then my friend Paul, not Paul Ampersand, Paul Avery, who I went to university with actually, started doing this podcast called Roll the Damn Dice, which was a D&D actual play podcast. And I was like, well, I'll listen to this because I quite like D&D and I want to support my friends and stuff. So yeah, I was giving that a listen. And then we kind of finished uni and stuff, both did film, and he said, hey, we're looking for somebody to try and do some like social media stuff for us because it's quite difficult to just for us cast and then be like producing it as well. We kind of need someone sort of outside to do it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'd happily do it. And yeah, and sort of as things have evolved, I've kind of become more and more of a kind of cast member on there as well. So I've had a couple of little guest spots. I was on a one shot that we did just this Sunday gone, which was a lot of fun. And yeah.
That's so cool.
And then I got invited to do Homebrew Havoc as well, which has been really cool because that's been my first like proper like campaign as well, like full campaign as well, which has been like, yeah.
You were. I mean, from the way you role play, honestly, it seems like you've been doing it for years and years. Genuinely, like it's so. It just seems really easy for you, which is I don't know. You just got into character so well, and the accent work and everything, and yeah, it's really impressive. If you haven't really done it for that long, I mean, that's great. I mean, yeah, that's incredible. I mean, Paul, you're the DM for Toni. I mean, what have you got to say?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. To learn that this is your first proper campaign that you've been in, and to see, I was going to say see how much you've grown, but we're really early in the campaign while recording this. When we released it, we're probably finished. But while recording this, you're a fantastic role player. You 100% give yourself to the character, the universe, the world that I created. Whenever I've asked you to do things outside of the campaign, you'd be like, yes, want to do that. You created your entire family in like a day, so really well done in that. I think I've ruined your entire family, but we'll find out.
I think you have.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's my job. That's okay. That's what I'm doing for. But yeah,
I'm not pressed.
An absolute stunning role player. The way that you bounce off of other characters, the way that you improvs, just so fluidly with anything that I or fellow players throw at you. The fact that you've just told me now that it's your first campaign, I am blown away by that. So really, really impressive.
Hey, look, I didn't know that either, and I mean, I saw you doing a guest spot on Roll the Damn Dice, and I thought you'd be a brilliant fit for it. I did not know that was like, you're only 2 years into playing, and you would never have known that, like, with the way you are with role playing. But yeah, absolute pleasure to have you along. It's been an absolute blast. Long may it continue, by the way. Let's keep homebrew. I saw a post today, which was like someone who's been playing the same campaign for 40 years. That could be us.
I saw that.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah. And everyone in the comments was like, how? Even if you level up every 2 years, you finished. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing for 40 years? I found that baffling.
Yeah.
Just a load of level 20 PCs running around the world just beating the shit out of people. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, sounds good to me. Let's do it. No problem.
Also say, actually, thinking about it, since I've got 2 players here, and I'll post it on the Discord later, once we do the next episode, which I've been told is episode 6, it will be my longest campaign as a DM.
Oh wow!
Really?
All the
Sorry.
others had fizzled out. I've had plans for long campaigns, and then they've just stopped for whatever reason. But yeah, episode 6 will be my longest campaign.
Well,
we've
why'd you?
2 artifacts.
Yeah. Right?
There's a lot to explore. I mean, yeah. And sorry, Tony, I'm going to have to jump to ask Paul a question here, which I don't think I've done. This is the first time since we've been doing this that I've done that. But Paul, like, why do you think that is? Like, what reason? Because you are a top DM. You do everything so well. So
the first one, I think COVID stopped. Yeah. And the second one, we stopped for Christmas last year, and I'm still waiting to start it back up, so I may have stopped that one, I'll admit. And then I think the third one, the players weren't vibing with what I was providing. Like, they just didn't want my style of DMing, which is perfectly fine. They were good players. It's just I wasn't the DM for them. So, session 0, I obviously did, and we were fine. By the time the second session came along, I recognised that they weren't having fun with what I provided, and I wasn't having fun with how they were handling it, so we just parted ways. Civilly, we were fine, and that was it.
Sometimes it doesn't work. And I don't want to speak on behalf of Tony here. And I hope Tony's going to nod that. I think in terms of the group Homebrew Havoc Scott, I think it gels like really, really well. There's a shake of the head from Tony. I can't believe it.
A jokey shake of the head. I absolutely love playing with this group. It's always like so fun, and just like I think the detail, because it kind of the idea of obviously the story of sort of Homebrew Havoc and what we're doing is like, we're a group of people. We met at a museum. We went to go and try and find all the artifacts, and that's kind of the story, really, the real basic concept. But then, over like the past 3 episodes, we've kind of forgotten about the artifacts completely, and we've gone and like almost dove into this world, which for me personally has been really fun because I've been the centre of attention for all of it.
You really have.
No, because it's been like I've been really able to like explore the character Cadis that I'm playing and really kind of have fun with that and think kind of what makes her tick. Why does she act like this certain way? Why is she kind of this very I would say not out there, yeah, kind of out there, like very bravado,
violent drunk.
Yeah.
Confidence, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to be nice about it, but no, that is what she is. But she's nice. She's a nice violent drunk. She's only violent when need be, or if it's like, you know, part of the fighting pits, which is sport, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But like,
That's awesome.
it's been really fun to like kind of think about it and then like spend sort of the week going by. Like even today, I've like been thinking like, ooh, with Cadis, should I do this? Ooh, next time we level up, do I want to maybe multi-class. That's something I'm thinking potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I've had a signal from Paul to absolutely not do that. So
it's a really cool thing, and I think that tells Paul and me as well, but tells Paul that if you're thinking about it outside and these ideas are popping in your head, that's a great sign that a campaign's going well and you're enjoying it. So yeah, Paul, take note there. Just as a side note, those ones that have fizzled out or whatever, I don't think you have to worry about that.
I'm not self-conscious about it. It's never really put me in doubt that I'm a good DM or I have good ideas about how to be a good DM. And then this Homebrew Havoc group with you two, Ailey and Shiv, has really just cemented that. Every time we finish a session, I spend the next 2 hours giddy with excitement for the next one. Especially when you ending it on a cliffhanger, which
I do like that.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yes.
Always a cliffhanger.
Because it makes the viewers and you guys excited to come back. And I love the frustration on your faces when you go, no! I need more! Like, yeah, me too. But we have to stop. But yeah, absolutely love that feedback. I'm really pleased you think about it outside of the session. Because so do I. I'm obsessed with thinking it outside the session. My wife has to stop me from going crazy with plot hooks and just going, no, that's a bit too complicated. That's a 9-part plot hook. It's fine. You're good with what you're doing. Like, okay.
Yeah. That's all a positive thing, isn't it? If you get lost in the world and you start thinking about, I think about it in work. I hope if my boss is watching this, I'm sorry. But in my mind, there are just dice rolling and owls and badgers and various elf sorcerers and all sorts of things going on. And I even got myself a dodo ring. Look at that little owl dude there. So for those listening, it's a ring with bright blue eyes in the shape of an owl. That's Dodo, my character has. Toni, just before we move on from Homebrew Havoc then, I mean, was there an inspiration for Cadis at all? Is this based on someone you know, perhaps? Or maybe even you?
Yeah. No, luckily she's not based on anybody that I know. Or at least if she was, I wouldn't say because that would be probably quite an insult. No, I don't know. I think I wanted to play with the characters that I've played so far. I always like to have a bit of fun with them, definitely. And like with Cadis is so much fun to play. Like in the past I've played a barbarian dragonborn who doesn't really like violence. Yeah, that was a fun one. Then I've played this one was really outside the box. This one I played a rogue tiefling. Yeah, wow. So that's original. Yeah, and like so that was my character that was in the Roll the Damn Dice that you watched.
Mm-hmm.
And like she was fun. I really liked her, and I do really like that character. I absolutely love that character, but she's quite tragic. So she was quite a tragic character, in a way, like fun, but like just sort of circumstance wise. So I was like, I kind of want to play someone who's got money. I want to play someone rich who doesn't really care about anything. So I was like, Cadis sounds fun, and I thought, you know what would be also really fun if she's absolutely jacked and an elf. So. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I also wanted to play spellcaster, which is why she's a sorcerer.
Yeah, love Cadis, absolutely awesome. Moving on from Homebrew Havoc, then, and well, you're role playing with Roll the Damn Dice as well, which is great, and I strongly recommend anyone listening or watching to check out Roll the Damn Dice as well. Your business then with Surefire Designs, I mean, using TTRPGs to start a business, how did it come about in the first place? In terms of setting it up and why did you go down that route with it?
Well, Surefire Designs has actually been around longer than me playing D&D. So it wasn't initially...
Like you inherited the business from like your mother. Yeah, it's not longer than I have. It's very odd.
Yeah. No, so I started that actually. It's kind of just like a lockdown project almost. It was like, oh, I quite
Hmm.
like I like drawing. I like creating art. Oh, maybe I can make a little bit of money from it. Maybe someone will be interested. So the first sort of thing I did on there was like drawing like dogs and like really like simplified kind of style dogs and stuff and putting those on mugs and badges. And I thought people like dogs. Maybe I'll get a bit of money. And people seemed interested. There was a couple of purchases, nothing major. Most of it was from like my mom, um, um, and like friends. And it kind of was just like very much ticking on by. It wasn't really kind of doing anything much. Um, and I kind of was like, I started getting into D&D more, and I was like, hey, this is a market, and I enjoy doing it, and I think I could create some fun stuff. So I started off the first like D&D product that I had was my like alignment badges, which
Hmm.
have did have one on my desk somewhere, but it's an absolute mess. Uh, I did have one. Oh, there it is. Sorry, nearly knocked water everywhere. That would have been good.
Yeah, don't do that.
So I got a lawful neutral one here.
That's so cool.
So that was the first project I did, and then I kind of just went from there and just started having a play. Then the second thing I did was the t-shirt, the flaming D20 t-shirt, so the one you've got on. That was like the next thing I did, and then I don't know, it just kind of went from there. And then I think I seemed to get more invested in it myself, and therefore I was kind of pushing it more, and that seemed to kind of like, you know, that got more traction on like say Instagram and Twitter and so on. And then I've kind of been making more sales, and you know, it's not like I'm not making loads from it, like don't get me wrong, but I really enjoy doing it, and I'm making more money than I was kind of expecting when I first sort of started doing it all. So it was like, you know,
That's awesome. Do you have like a goal for it at all, or is it kind of like, I mean, is there a place you want it to end up? Are you hoping to have like a global brand of D&D or TTRPG clothing and trinkets and all that good stuff?
that would be amazing. I don't really know, to be honest. I think I definitely like to um become more like well known for stuff, and I'd like, you know, it'd be cool to like see. I don't know. I guess I don't really know. It'd be fun to like sort of collab with people. That would be really fun.
Mm.
You know, maybe start doing like stalls at like cons or just
Yeah.
markets and stuff. Although I feel like it'll probably have to be more like cons rather than say just your average Christmas market, because I feel like that's not the demographic for like TTRPG mugs and badges and stuff. But yeah, something like that would be really fun. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah. I think you might be surprised. I mean, like, I don't know. My nan might turn up with chaotic evil, a badge or something, and she'd be like, "Oh, I got this, got this. This sums me up," not even knowing it was anything to do with TTRPGs or anything. So, but that's really cool. I mean, I was going to ask you actually if you do like sell stuff at cons and events and things like that. That's not something you've done before, then.
It's not, no. No, I haven't done anything like that in like
Mm.
in person kind of sales or anything. But I would love to do that. I think it'd be fun as well because it's also a nice way of like connecting with the people who buy stuff. Like
Yeah.
obviously I when people buy stuff from my Etsy, I love it and it's brilliant and it's great and I'm very happy when I do get orders come through. But it's kind of, unless there's somebody who I know, as a general rule, I'm never going to see that person, I'm never going to meet them. They probably won't tag on Instagram, so I don't really kind of get that, you know, that kind of thing. Like, which is fine. Like, no one has any obligation to do that at all. Um, um, so then when you're at cons, you kind of get that personal experience. You can talk to people, you can speak to them. They, you know, and I feel like then you kind of building up an actual connection with people.
Yeah. I mean,
while they're giving you all their money as well.
of course, and that's always good. I mean, it's TTRPGs anyway. I mean, it's like it's a strong community vibe around it, you know. And if you're going to get success in whatever you're doing, be it creating campaigns or creating merch or whatever, or actual plays or whatever it may be, you gotta get to know people and form relationships with the people that are engaging with your work. And I think you'll see quite a bit of success from it, definitely, because I love all your designs. They're really, really cool. And just while it's fresh, then what was it? It was Surefire Designs on what platforms?
All of them. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Etsy. Yeah.
You're on TikTok as well, aren't you?
Oh yeah, no, I am on TikTok as well, but I kind of don't really use TikTok that much. I kind of forget about it. I forget that. I am on there. If you want to go give me a follow, that's all good as well.
And it's mainly, so I mean, do you sell? You only sell through social media? Is that where you do most of your marketing for it, or is there any other platforms you use other than socials?
That's pretty much it. I want to have a look more into things. I've got there's a board game cafe in Telford, which is actually where I'm originally from. Which I didn't realize there was a board game cafe in Telford until I moved away from Telford, which is really ironic. But they were looking for some art pieces, so I either have or will have an art piece there in their shop, which will be cute. So that's kind of, I guess, a bit of marketing there, because they were like, when you send the piece, make sure you've got your like tags on it. But no, I'm it's pretty much socials, but like the more, I'm kind of hoping to try and do some more kind of in-person stuff. This board game cafe here in Cheltenham as well, so
yeah,
I'm hoping to kind of talk.
Why does everyone have board game cafes except for me? I can't find any near me. Like, I'm thinking of starting my own just to find one.
Do it.
Shout outs to Chance Encounters in Cardiff. Love it. Such a good place. Love it.
Shout out to Balls and Bites.
I do want to ask Toni, if I may, if do you have any advice for someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and create their own merch and open a shop on Etsy selling anything, let alone TTRPG stuff? Is there anything you wish you'd known at the start that you know now and probably could have saved you a fair bit of time?
I'm not really sure, but that's a really good question. I would say if you're going to do it, make sure that you've got a lot of. This is a bit of pressure, but like, make sure you've got a fair amount of stuff on there, like different listings. Because the more variety, the more people are going to be interested. So that's something. I know it's quite difficult, especially if you're going for something very niche, like if you're doing like, say, TTRPG inspired stuff, then that's kind of a bit more difficult. Also, just do it if you're thinking about doing it. I know this is probably the most cliche piece of advice ever, but like, if you fancy doing it and you think it's something that you'd be able to do and it's something you'd enjoy, and it's just something you go, oh, I'm just thinking about it, but I'm not really sure, just do it. The only thing you'll lose is like 20p from Etsy listing fees, but it's if it's something you want to do, just do it, go for it. You don't even need to do it on Etsy. There's so many other like places that do the same thing. You can sell stuff on Ko-fi, Shopify, Tmail, Redbubble, all of that stuff. Like, you can just, I don't know, have a shop about. But yeah, just go for it, because it can't hurt, and you might make a bit of money from it. If you don't, then you've at least given it a go, and maybe just I don't know. But chances are you will make some money, because people like things.
They do like things. I like things. Paul likes things. I love things.
I like more things than I can afford.
Yeah, I mean,
so do I.
I mean, long may it continue to grow, and I hope you get a lot of success from it, and you deserve it. With a difficult question now, and sorry, we only do terrible questions on this show. I recently spoke to Andy Losthaven on Twitter, who's a quite well-known member of the TTRPG community, and digital artist, who sells on Redbubble and other platforms. He had someone who I found when I was looking at their designs, someone who actually took their designs and plagiarized it and started selling things on there. Now, have you had an experience like that?
Not yet.
I thought you were going to accuse Tony of doing it. I really was concerned about where that question was going. Like, I heard from Lost Haven that you stole his design. Like, accuse people of that. Sorry.
Just to confirm, that is not what I'm saying. All of Tony's designs are original and created by Tony Surefire Designs. This is completely separate. I just want to know if this is something that you've seen in your space.
I personally haven't had anything like that, as far as I'm aware, anyway. And I'm hoping that I won't have to, because that. But you know, it's something that kind of does make me a little bit nervous, especially with doing stuff like that, because it's such a. I know that it's such a kind of. It's quite common, unfortunately, for a lot of artists. That they just have their stuff kind of like stolen and plagiarized and stuff. Do
you know of like protections that are available for it? I mean, if anyone, because there's a lot of great artists, you know, Ailey as well, who plays in Homebrew Havoc with us, is a fantastic artist as well. And you know, to think that someone was just taking their art or their designs for products such as yours, when you know you've put in all the effort for it and you've got the talent and you're the one with the brains to create such great stuff. I'd hate to think that, you know, it's so common as you described as it is. Do you know of like any protections for it at all? Is there anything people can do? Anything that you're aware of, or anything that you know you might want to pass on to other people who may have experienced something like that? Do you know anything?
I never post high def versions of my art. If I post any of my art on Twitter or Instagram or anything, I always make sure, like, when I go on Photoshop and I export it, I export as PNG in order to create products from that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always do the lowest possible quality JPEG version of that image and use that instead, because you can't really tell anyway on social media if the quality is not bad, but it's enough that if someone was to try and steal it and put it on a t-shirt, the quality would be really bad and they wouldn't be able to really use it that well, unless they put loads and loads of effort into it and like traced it and all that stuff. But it's a lot easier. The other thing I would say is, if you're not the artist, but you see an artist has posted some art on Twitter or wherever, Twitter mainly, do not comment underneath saying, oh, I need this on a t-shirt, oh, I need this on whatever the product. Don't comment that, because there are a ton of bots on Twitter who will search for those comments, take that art, and then automatically shove it on a t-shirt. And they are bots as well, because I've seen people try and like be like, haha, lol, make the bots turn this shitty meme into a t-shirt or whatever, and it works. So like, don't comment that, please don't.
Wow.
Just be like, wow, this is really cool.
I'd never thought of that. That's really good advice. That's really, really good. And it's things like this. And I mean, I like to think that I've got a fairly decent platform on there and speak to a lot of people on a variety of things and Discord and stuff as well. And I know Paul does. I mean, to have Lost Haven come out and say that, I was a bit like, oh god. So yeah, things like that I can pass on to people like that. That's really, really useful. So yeah, appreciate that, Tony. Thank you very much. That's really, really good advice. On social media still then, I saw, it wasn't that long ago, someone left a comment on one of your posts and it was something along the lines of, and I can't quote it directly, but it was, I don't like to see the lifestyleification of D&D, or this is an example of referring to your wonderful designs, by the way, that as the lifestyleification of D&D. First of all, what the hell does that mean? What were they on about? Second of all, this person, as Paul has informed me, has been subsequently banned from Twitter by the looks of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, have you? I don't know what to, I don't really understand what, for Cal's questions, I don't really know what question I'm asking. I just want your view on that. Like, what the hell was, why, just why? My question is why?
So yeah, it was, so I just created these stickers from a design that I had done a while ago. The TRPG. There was another one as well, pumpkin dice latte, which I sold out today, but I will restock those ASAP. But yeah, so this one is my diced tea sticker. I posted those, and because I was really proud of them, I thought they looked really cute. And I got a lot of love and a lot of support from them from that, which was really cool. But one fella, this no profile picture, name, bunch of numbers handle, quote tweet this post and just say something like, "Oh, these are really no." Who's something it was really
passive
weird.
aggressive, wasn't it? It was like
passive aggressive.
From what I can find,
oh, he's got it.
Oh, he's got it. He's got the T, because I know it's all
the tweet, because when your account gets suspended, all your tweets get deleted as well. So I can't find the actual tweet. But what I can find is someone responding to that tweet, and they've implied that the quote retweet was, "I'm getting really sick of people allowing the lifestyleification of TTRPG."
What
do you feel about the fact that you are lifestyleificationing TTRPG, Tony?
Whatever that means.
Oh, I've got it. I've got the tweet. I found it because I screenshotted it.
No way!
Right, so it said, right, so Mike...
Don't say who it's from. We're probably not allowed to say who it's from.
Okay, well, it's from an account. And so, yeah, like I say, name, bunch of numbers. Cute product, and I hope you do well, but I'm just going to be over here hating you for contributing to the lifestyleification of tabletop. Which I don't know what that means, but what I'm assuming is that I created a product that is to do with D&D, and this person is hating on me because I'm enjoying things and making money off it, by the way. But yeah, like he or they, she, where probably he, like not to stereotype, but I think there's a lot of people who I think we all know of this D&D demographic, which are people who like D&D but don't enjoy other people enjoying D&D in a way that's not the exact same way of them enjoying D&D. So, for example, the people who are like, "Oh, battle wheelchairs in D&D. Oh, now you're just politicizing everything." It's like, no, we're just making it so this group of people can enjoy it and play it, and also feel like, you know.
Sorry for making it accessible to everyone, and it's just crazy, you know.
Like, if you don't want to play with battle wheelchairs at your table, then you go for it, mate. That's fine. But like, I don't care what you really think, because I'm having a good time. And also, that ended up being the most popular tweet I've ever tweeted in my entire life. So thanks for contributing to the engagement of my shop, bro.
He has actually contributed to the lifestyleification of D&D just by posting that. Whatever, I mean, it could mean a variety of things. I think the way you've described, I'm air quoting now, lifestyleification, I think that's probably what they mean, which is sad. You know, it's at the end of the day, if someone's enjoying something, or wanting to make a business out of whatever, I'll just let people do what they want, for God's sake, man.
I think it sounded like it came from the fact that I was attributing D&D to hot beverages or iced beverages in some cases. And apparently those two things have nothing to do with each other, and I'm just forcing it. And I'm like, yes, because no one's ever drank it in a game of D&D before, have they?
No.
D&D and snacks? I don't think so, buddy.
That was the final straw for them. That was it.
Yeah.
That was the line. You crossed the line there, Tony.
I did, and I just want to make a public apology to everybody in the RPG space that I don't actually know, but I'm going to apologise for it anyway.
As far as online apologies to a community goes, I think saying, I don't know what I'm apologising for, but I am sorry, isn't where we should aim. Like, you have no need to apologise, I understand that.
I also think as far as online apologies go, I think that was the most sincere I've heard in a while.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's a lot, actually.
Yeah, I apologise for something I did. I didn't apologise that you felt a certain way about the thing I did.
Sorry, my mind is... Go on, Paul, sorry.
I just want to bring up, and I'm sorry for those listening to this without viewing it, because we keep referencing things that me and Callum can see and you can't. Tony, your earrings are amazing.
Thank you. They are, like, for those of you listening, they are like long dangly earrings, and they have like a little silver moon, like crescent moon on them, and then dangling from the top of this moon is like it's a D, either 10 or 100, one of them, that sort of shape. And the D10s.
How dare you wear dice and moons together? That's the lunification of D&D.
I got them from... Where did I get them from? Well, I didn't actually get them at all. That was it. I didn't get them. My mom got them for me from a company called Chaos Curios.
Really nice.
Based in Scotland.
Really? If they do like necklaces or something like that, I'd love to get like a new D&D necklace. Sorry, random Twitter user who got banned, but I'm getting that. So check them out. Those earrings are quite something. They're awesome. How far does it go? Like the lifestyleification thing? Because it's like, would that mean selling dice, like different types of dice, is lifestyleification? Because I'm assuming this person must have whittled it from a log, his first set of dice or something, because that's the pure way of doing it or something. Like,
or out a really small
yeah, it's not D&D unless you whittle it from an oak.
Or they just think of dice and then roll them in their head, and they're like, "Oh, look, I got a nat 20." You've had 5 nat 20s in a row. What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just totally. It's like I can't help it. It's just really random in my head. That's all it is. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Sorry to go on about it. It's just boggled my mind. Like, it's brought. I don't know. I always think like the community is so, from what I see, is 99% inclusive and kind, and everyone boosts each other, and there's so many like talented people who don't deserve the shit like that comment you got, you know. There's so many more supportive people out there than that.
Yeah, it's a shame that there are a few people like online, most of whom don't stay for long, and they seem to kind of get blacklisted, I guess, for want of a better word, off of like Twitter and all that within those spaces, like relatively quickly. Like, I know there was so much shit that went down recently, so it kind of does show you that within this kind of group, even though you do have the bad people, and you'll have the bad people in any group ever, like that's just natural, but we seem to kind of get rid of them quite quickly, or I feel like there's people on there who aren't afraid to call out people for stuff that they shouldn't be doing, or just like, you know, being bad and not nice and stuff like, you know, that was a horrific way of but like, you know,
I think those the list of people who are willing to call out bad behaviour or bad actors or whatever you want to refer to them as is getting larger. I know now I'm more confident about calling it out, and I've said it on my Discord, my profile, everywhere. If I see it, I will name and shame you, and I'm not going to say sorry, and I don't care how big you are. Because at this stage in 2022, we kind of have to be, because you can't allow old style thoughts or outdated ideas to still exist. We can't gatekeep any community, let alone one that is built on the idea of escapism and has quite frankly saved a lot of people's mental health, like TTRPGs. I know Callum will definitely agree with me here. Without TTRPGs the last year, I don't know what I would have done, because it has allowed me to enter a world that is so wonderful and welcoming. And I don't just mean my own world that I've created, but other worlds as well, and meet people that I never would have met without TTRPG. I never would have created that friendship with. And if someone is daring to jeopardize that universe, that community, they should be kicked. They should be blacklisted, and we should not feel bad about doing it.
Yeah, and not just that, but people's businesses as well. Like Toni and Surefire Designs. People's income as well. There's no room for bad eggs. Only good eggs are allowed in the TTRPG space. But yeah, we'll be wrapping up very shortly, as we've nearly run out of time, sadly. But we are lucky enough to be able to play with you in what would be tomorrow evening. I don't know when this is getting released, but which is yeah, probably New Year. It's all very. I'm
gonna have a massive conglomerate. Can't say that word.
It's now a word. Yeah, that's
Jeffrey
going in.
Bezos of the TTRPG space.
Do it.
That's the idea. I'm gonna have my penis rocket.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to write down here. Tony's goals are penis rocket.
I just have one question, and it's a selfish question before Cloud does the farewells. What is your favourite part so far in Homebrew Havoc?
Ooh, well, I was actually going to mention this as well when you were saying about like kind of how inclusive like the spaces is and stuff. Is that what I really love about Homebrew Havoc as a whole is how literally the opposite of gatekeeping it is, and like you've collaborated with endless amounts of people to create this like product, I guess. And like everybody's included, everyone, it feels like it's everybody's campaign, even though there's only like the 5 of us kind of playing. We wouldn't be kind of the campaign it was if it wasn't for so many other creators as well. So Abyssal Brothers for Lost Haven's done some work, as so many people have like contributed, and I really love that aspect of it, is it being a real massive community project. But in terms of like I'm trying to think in terms of kind of actual stuff that's happened within the campaign is I love that I managed to roll like a 19 on a Constitution save when we were drinking, because I feel like it would have been so out of character for me to be such a lightweight, so I was really happy with that dice roll.
Didn't you get covered in blue? Well, it was blue vomit from a badger.
I did get covered in blue vomit, but yeah, like you say, luckily it wasn't my blue vomit. It was Hawthorne's blue vomit. The priest who's with us, who's meant to be the moral compass to the group, who's an absolute animal, literally and metaphorically.
Yes.
I absolutely, Shiv is so great as Hawthorne. I absolutely love it. But yeah. No, I'm really excited to keep on playing though, and I'm really excited to the relationships between the characters as well, and like how that's going. I think that's that's always a fun thing to explore in D&D, is just like kind of the characters.
Especially if it's your first long-term campaign as well, which I did not realise. And do you know what? A genuine privilege to be playing alongside you in your first campaign. Before we go, then, is there anyone you want to shout out? To put you right on the spot.
I'm going to shout out Roll the Damn Dice again.
Absolutely.
Those guys, they are brilliant. They're amazing, and not just because they're like my friends who I've known for a while, but yeah, they're really, really great group of role players, and that story is coming along really nicely. Yeah, go check them out. Roll the Damn Dice on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. Although that might have changed. I think that's I think Roll the Damn Dice. Type that in, and you'll find them. Find us.
Google it. Google it.
Yeah, Google it. You'll come up. Yeah, I think that's. Go follow Ampersand D20 D&D.
Yeah.
On various platforms, and Illyria Payne and IO Shiv as well. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and I'm Surefire Designs. You can find me everywhere as Surefire Designs.
Exactly. Next question was where just Surefire Designs. Search that on a variety of platforms as previously mentioned.
Even Pinterest's on there as well, and I don't use Pinterest. You can find me on Pinterest, even though I won't be active.
That's.
Sorry for interrupting. Just because I would feel bad if we didn't do it properly. So, Roll the Damn Dice is not Roll the Damn Dice pretty much anywhere, to be honest. So,
no.
On YouTube, they're RTDD. On podcast, they're Roll the Damn Dice. And on Twitter, they are Damn_Dice. Because if you search Roll the Damn Dice on Twitter, you get somebody else.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I forgot we changed YouTube because it turns out damn is a swear in some countries. So we're like, wait a second, that might be hindering us somewhat. So yes, RTDD on YouTube, and actually I think it's RTD Dice on Twitch now as well. That's changed too. So
that is all very useful information. And
sorry, this has all happened in the past like 2 days, so I'm kind of like,
no, that's cool.
They all will be linked in the description below.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, cheers, Paul. What a producer, eh? Look at that, straight on it.
We have got a link tree, so that'll probably be easier. I will give Paul the link tree to make life easier for everybody.
Cool. Right, and yeah, I guess that's the end of the interview, I guess. So I'm just going to say thank you to everyone listening and or watching this. Huge thanks to Toni. Love playing with Toni and Homebrew Havoc, and love all their work they do, Surefire Designs, etc. with Roll the Damn Dice as well. Big shout out to them. Yes, it's a goodbye from Paul. If you would like to say a few words, sign off.
Absolutely. Yes, I've been Paul, aka Ampersand. You can find me pretty much every Thursday evening at Ampersand D20 on Twitch, where we do indeed play Homebrew Havoc, which you may have heard about during this interview. And we are starting, who knows what session we'll be on by the time this goes out, but we are starting next Tuesday for me, a brand new show of Blades in the Dark by cc.dark. So come check us out for that.
Awesome.
Enigmatic Muri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is season 3, effectively, but it's in another universe and slightly different. Never played it before, excited.
That's so cool. I'll definitely check that out. And yes, I have been Cal of Cal's Questions at Sealy D&D, if you want to find me on Twitter. This was in association with Ampersand Productions. Thanks to Paul, thanks to Toni, and we'll see you next time. See ya.